plan, 20-year future plan. So what is the plan for Nepal for 20 years? That constituted how health will be in Nepal. So they did not have a special health policy, but they had a national plan. They had a long-term plan, which constituted health as one of the section in it. So that way it had. And besides that, they also had specific program like smallpox eradication program, malaria control program, tuberculosis control program. They had this kind of thing. Polio eradication program, it's still there. Filaria elimination program is still there. Leprosy elimination program is still there. So what I'm trying to say is they did not have a specific policy, but they had specific programs and policy for specific diseases that was governing everything. Okay, so this way it started, and they even tried to integrate it. Later on, they integrated malaria, leprosy, tuberculosis, and all into one program. And they integrated, and they found that integrating helps a lot. So this way, this the change was all that we need something a very much integrated one that looks after health of everything. So that is how this national health policy 2048 came to be. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that initially it was haphazard, there was no policy. Then there was the national level plan, long-term plan that said that health is important. That was how it was going on. Then parallel to it was that whatever disease is prevalent, what is the most important challenging thing right now? Malaria. Okay, let's focus. Let's have a program for malaria. Then somebody will come. Tuberculosis is a big problem in the past. Okay, let's have a program for tuberculosis. So that specific program for individual diseases. Okay, now that individual diseases program was going out of control. Things were a bit erratic. So what happened was we need to integrate. That was the thought, and then they integrated it. And the end, in 2048 become summer. What they did was they made the national health policy, and that basically brought everything into one line. And under that, there was various sub programs. Okay, that is how it was progressed. And this was the thing. And on the basis of whatever was achieved by this policy and whatever was happening in around 2070, 70, some 5 years, 6 years ago in Nepal, some changes were made. Okay, so the basis was significant achievement had been made in the health sector. So comparing to 2048, in 2076, 71, sorry, 71, some 5 years ago, significant change was made in was there in the health sector in Nepal. The health sector was not as rudimentary as it was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Much change was there. Okay, so primary healthcare services have been accessible to all people. Previously, primary healthcare services were not accessible. Now it is accessible. Then another thing was private sector participation was huge in Nepal. Previously, there was no such thing called private hospitals 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Okay, so this was another change. Human resources was another thing. Previously, all the human resources for almost all the levels had to be brought in from abroad. They had to be trained abroad. Nursing, midwifery was trained in Nepal for a long time. Otherwise, and health assistant, but doctors and skilled, high skilled manpower was all had to be trained abroad. So, but now 5 years ago, the situation was that human resources required for almost all the healthcare were being produced in Nepal itself. We had super specialization thing going on in the country itself. So that was another change. And next change was increasing high care diagnostic and treatment facility was there. Our diagnostic and treatment facility was not in a very primitive state. We had approach to newer techniques also. We are not in par with the global community. We are not in par with the global community, but we are almost there as well, right? Anything that is there in the world right now can be brought in over here. If somebody brings in US technology for cancer treatment, I don't think so. It's not impossible that people will not bring it. Bringing it and not bringing it is going to be a choice. But if somebody brings it, will it be useful over here? Will it be applicable over here? Yes, right? So we have come in that situation. That is the next thing. So, and another thing was decrease in major public health problems of the past. The diseases of the past like malaria, tuberculosis, diphtheria, measles, these were all being washed away. Polio, these are all washed away. So that was another change. Previously, all the thought was in communicable disease, right? So that had gone down drastically. And another thing was some diseases were already eliminated. Smallpox was already eliminated. Polio is eliminated. So diseases were all eliminated. So a policy had to be such that we had to think of this new thing that is happening. And another thing that was good that was happening was collaboration among various sectors for various between the various agencies was happening there in Nepal. So all these things mean that whatever was governing our national policy for the last 20, 25 years needed a change. Okay, so 2048 was somewhere. I just give one short example. 2048 means just sometime after I was born. Okay, so when I was a child, although I don't remember, I know the health situation by my studies. So what I can assure is that the health provided was very very different than what is right now. The medication policy was very very different. The diagnostic policy was very very different. Accessibility to the hospitals and doctors were very 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 different than what is right now. In a room at my time, in the year which I was born, for every 1,000 people who were born at alongside with me at that year, let's say, every 1,000, by the time I was 5 year old, around 250 of them had already died. So that was the situation of Nepal. Okay, so 250 per 1,000 people children used to die, under 5 used to die. Right now it's brought down to 30, 40, something like that. So what I'm trying to say is that the situation is very different. So 2048 to 58 to 68 to 48 to 58 to 68, 20, 22, 23, 24 years, lot of change in health was made in our country. Okay, not just in our country, globally itself. Okay, so there was a drastic change, and that drastic change meant that what it meant was basically uh, that things need an update. Okay, so the basic outline of the change are all these that I've said over here. All these 8 points were, these were the outline on the change that were occurring in the country. Okay, so on that change, they had a clear understanding that we need to update our policy. Okay, so existing health policy was insufficient to ensure citizens quality to right to quality healthcare through the appropriate response to the problems and challenges in the health sector of the nation. So that was an outdated policy. So with that in mind, they made a guiding principle. At the same that with that in mind, they made that we need a new policy. New policy is essential. So what would be the guiding principle of the new policy is that it's a fundamental right. Provision of quality health care will be ensured. That is the first point. So health is not a luxury. Okay, first thing. Second is right to information related to health service provided by you. So we have to inform everyone of what health situation, what is the health situation, all these things. However, in order to ensure health services provision by the health uh, provision by the state is accessible to poor, marginalized, vulnerable community based on quality and social justice program will be designed and implemented accordingly. So, what was the next thing was that poor, marginalized, vulnerable community, whatever is there in the country, that needs to be health for them needs to be addressed. So it should be based on equality and social justice, not just on money. Okay, so that was another thing. And another thing was people will be participating in every kind of health services. So any health service, health activities in the country, people's participation will be there. One example is that we've got primary healthcare, right? So primary healthcare hospitals and all, it is functioned by the government, but what do you call the committee that runs the primary healthcare is formed by the general population of that area, and of course the government health is there. So people's participation is there. The doctors and the health professionals cannot decide everything. Okay, people's participation is there so that they can discuss what is the problem and the needs, and that can be addressed. So in that way, that was another guiding principle. Another guiding principle was programs related to health promotion, protection, improvement, and rehabilitation will be gradually incorporated into states' other policies. So basically, health is not a separate entity. Okay? Health has to be integrated with some other every other things. If you want nutrition program, you need a good agricultural program. So health and agriculture has to be integrated. Okay, so that those kind of things. One example is that. Okay, that was another thought. Another thought was participation of private sector will be promoted, ensuring citizens access easy access to quality access at fair price. So another thing was private sector, but not in an erratic way, but in a controlled way. Okay, so there are levels of hospitals right now in Nepal, and a hospital cannot charge erratically whatever price they want. Some hospitals you find it very expensive, but some of the private hospitals are cheaper, right? Why? Because it's in the level of hospital. They are allowed, they are not allowed. A hospital like ours are not allowed to charge very high amount of price. We have to keep it in a very nominal price as per with the government. Otherwise, the policy says so. But there are some hospitals that are very expensive, right? Why? Because they are allowed. So they are made in such a way that citizen access is there. Another thing was resource obtained from internal and external agency will be mobilized for effective implementation of the policy. So whatever resources we have, we will utilize that. Next is all health services provided by the government or organized differently through a network of government will be regulated. So all health system cannot happen whatever I want. Now, if I want to establish a COVID hospital right now, let's say, I can't do that. It has to be through the government regulation. So regulation was made. And another was flow of health services will be accountable. Record keeping will be good. So with that in mind, with these guiding principles in mind, they made a progress towards building up of a policy. Okay. Now it's a bit confusing. These are all the background things. These are not the reality. These are all the background things. These are the thought process. What is thought while making the policy. Okay. So with this background in mind, they made a policy, and the policy says that policies have got this vision, mission, and goal. Okay, vision is the highest thing. What is it? Vision. What is the vision of national health policies? All Nepali citizens would be able to live productive and quality life, being physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally healthy. So basically, we want a definition of health to be fitted over here. That is the number one vision. So to achieve that vision, they had a mission. The mission was to ensure fundamental right of the citizen to remain healthy through a strategic collaboration among service providers, beneficiaries, and stakeholders, and optimal utilization of resources. So we can't say we'll provide all the health because we don't have the resource. Whatever resource we will help. That is the general mission. So with that in mind, they made a goal that is to ensure health for all citizens as a fundamental human right by increasing access to quality health services through a provision of just and accountable system. So this is the goal. Now with these vision, mission, and goal, they had various policies. Okay, I'm going to come into policies. It's going to be a bit lengthy and boring, but I'll just go through it and I'll give you a document to read. Okay. Uh, Before that, just a few objectives. Now these are the broad things. Policy, national paper will say this much. Now, what does this mean to achieve this? What is the point? Is first objective is to make available free basic health services that existed as citizens' fundamental right. So, because health is a fundamental right, basic health services is supposed to be free. That is the number one objective. Number two objective of Nepal's health policy is to establish an effective and accountable health system with required medicines, equipment, technology, and qualified health professionals for easy access to acquire quality health services by each citizen. Next is to promote people's participation in extending health services for this. Promote ownership of private and cooperative sector by augmenting and managing their involvement. Next is people's participation. Okay. So with these three objectives outlined, we've got 14 policies. These are the actual policies point wise. Now I'll just go through it and try to make sure that you all grasp what the policies are. Okay. First policy is to make available in an effective manner, the quality health services established as fundamental right by ensuring easy access within reach of all citizens, universal health coverage, and provision of basic health coverage at free of cost. So here, number one policy is to make sure people get free health services, at least the primary health. Basic thing should be free and it should be accessible. So is it accessible in Nepal? Anybody would like to volunteer? Anybody would like to volunteer? Is it universal health coverage free and accessible? Is it or not? There are two parts to it. Okay, one is availability, Another is utilization. Okay, and next is rate at which successfully we are utilizing it. So availability is most important thing. Is health services available at certain places, every place of the country? We've got thousands of health posts that will say that yes, health services are available. Is it accessible? Yes, people can go. Some people can go within 5 minutes walk. Some can go within an hour walk. But they don't have to go for basic things. Okay? Very very basic thing. They don't have to go for 3 days. They don't have to work. But for high care, they need to work. They need to walk and reach there. But for basic things, they do not need to. So what does this policy mean is that at least the basic thing, most basic health thing has to be accessible everywhere, which is almost there. The quality might not be there, the usability might not be optimal, but the outcome might not be wonderful, but at least it's there. So we've got a ground on which we can work. So first policy is make sure health is available everywhere. Okay. Second is to plan, produce, acquire, develop, and utilize necessary human resources to make health system affordable and effective. The next thing is to make sure that whatever health system that we've got is affordable and effective. So human resources. Okay. So one example of this is that we've got postgraduate program in Nepal, right? You all know that lots of doctors end up doing a master's degree, right? So almost half of the seats of national master's degree right now is done by a government associated institution in Nepal. Okay, we've got Beer Hospital, we've got Teaching Hospital, we've got Taran, we've got Patan Hospital. These are big centers that produce lots of master's level, MD level, MDMS level doctors. So once they pass out, 2 years they have to go and work in the community. They have to go and work in whichever place the government says. So government will teach them for free. Education is free. They in turn will have to go and work for 2 years. That is the thing, right? So private sector they have not said till now, but for government. So almost half the MD that are produced right now in Nepal, they all work in the government sector for at least 2 years. So what does that mean is that so what does that mean is that this universal health coverage point is covered. Okay, and to help produce and acquire the skills, what they did is they made it free. They don't have to pay. They've got hundred of seats that are free. So that means human resources are being developed. Okay, that is one thing, and it's affordable and effective as well. Why affordable? Because at the lowest cost, those hospitals are able to produce those doctors. And those are really big hospitals, and they've made sure that rather than establishing a different hospital for master's program, they have used established hospital for master program where already health services are being provided. So cost effectiveness is there, which is to develop other system also like Ayurvedic and all also we have to go in parallel. So that is also another one. Next is to aim at becoming self-sufficient in quality medicine and medical equipment through effortless and effective importation and utilization with emphasis on internal production. So next is health system. We need to get the latest technology in our country, right? So is it possible to produce CT scan machine in Nepal? Yes, it is possible, but is it effective? No, it is not effective. Why? Because the cost to produce the number of CT scan machine we need in our country is very, very high. So it's better to import, right? But is it possible to? Is it necessary to manufacture simple medications like paracetamol in Nepal? Yes, we need it in high quantity and we can produce it in Nepal. So if you produce it in Nepal, the price is going to go really down. So that is the thought. So what they've done is all medicine, medical equipments and medicine, especially whatever is possible, we'll make it in our country so that the price will go down. And if not possible, we'll import it so that it is regulated and is effective. Okay, optimal utilization is there. So that way, uh, lots of medical equipment not that good progress because our country is very small and we are not in a state where we will be exporting quality products and after making sufficient for us. So what policy, what actually reality is that good quality medications are being made in Nepal. So to make sure that the quality is good and all, they are checking, they are doing all this inspection and all, the made very stringent rules and all. So that way things are going on. So lots of medicines are made in Nepal right now because of this policy. Okay. And next is to utilize the policy formulation program, medical treatment system, the proven behavior and practice obtained from research by enhancing the quality of research to international standard. And next thing is we've got, let's go back over here. Okay? So we've got health for all, number one. Number two, we've got human resources. Number three, we've got other medical things also. Number four, we've got medicines and all. Now we want to treat, right? So when we treat, when we make policy, when we make programs, it should be based on research. That is the next thing. Okay, without research, you are not allowed to do anything. So to make sure that research happens in a good quality way, policies are made. So last few years, previously, one thing, mm, we medical professionals, we do lots of research. We produce lots of papers. If you look into our doctors, what do you call this, profile and all, you see lots of papers that are produced by these doctors. There are some doctors who produce hundreds of papers also in the past. So what does that paper do is it shows the reflects the situation in our country. If that research is done in Nepal, it reflects the situation in our country, right? Yesterday there was one Lancet is a very renowned article, research journal. Okay, it publishes various articles, produce very high quality. And two doctors from Nepal had written one wonderful article regarding country like ours financial burden because of cancer disease. Okay, so that was the kind of research that is intended. So that kind of research will reflect what is the situation in Nepal, and that outcome of that research they can at least make sure that they have got good policy program and all. So we are improving in our research quality, and to improve in our research quality, various guidelines are made. I cannot go and do a simple research right now. No, I need to get a permission to do that. Okay, so all these things are regulated, and our research quality is slowly improving. Why research is important? Because based on that research, our programs, policy, and treatment system will change. Right now, for corona also, this remdesivir, plasma convalescent therapy, they're all doing it, right? Those are all research. Globally also it's research. It's not proven medication, proven treatment therapy, but that's research. So for in Nepal also, what is the situation in our country? Let's do the research. We are doing that on the research. Okay, so research is important. Next policy is promote public health by giving high priority to education, information, communication program by transforming it to the practice the access to information and message about health as a right to information. So next is to promote general health problem. Okay, so that is another policy. Next policy is, now we are going to specific diseases. These are of these six was the general thing. This is for malnutrition. Let's we've got a huge problem of malnutrition. Nepal has got around 10% of malnutrition, around 30-35% of chronic malnutrition in our country. So reduce malnutrition through promotion and use of high quality healthy food. So that is another policy. Next policy is to ensure availability of quality health services through competent and accountable mechanism and the system of coordination, monitoring, and regulation. So next is whatever health services we give, we want it to happen in a competent and accountable way. So one cannot just say that I give a medication but the person died. No, what medication I gave, was the medication correct? So all these are accountable. So somebody is coordinating the activity, somebody is monitoring it and regulating it. So that happens. Okay. Next policy is to ensure professional and quality services standard by making health related council capable, professional and accountable. So to make sure that whatever health professionals are produced, they are quality. What they have done is they have certain standard. Like every year, people from the government, we've got Nepal Medical Council. They come and they inspect our college. They physically see what is happening. Is it optimal or not? Okay, so we can get this kind of approval from India as well. Some of our colleges are some of the colleges in Nepal are approved by Indian Medical Council. Some of them are approved by Sri Lanka. Why? Because we want to make sure that we get people from all around the world to study over here, and we want to make sure that quality is high, right? So what we are trying to do is, for Nepal, we've got Nepal Medical Council, and what they do is they come and see whether it's of quality. So they make sure that while they make it of quality, they make sure the curriculum is of quality, and then the product also they make sure that it's of quality. Why? How? By doing a test. So at the end, when we finish the MBBS, when we finish the MD or whatever professional degree what we take, we have to give a test in council just to make sure that the quality is there. So they are doing that. Next is to mainstreaming health as a in every policy of the state by reinforcing collaboration with health-related various stakeholders. So, one important policy is this. I think is a very important policy because this says that with with this policy, any health-related policy, any policy that is made in a country, any policy, if it is related to health, it has to be the associated. Okay, so any policy that is made that will be associated with health and looked after. So this way, policy to make good house. Okay, housing policy will be made looking after health, road health, food health. So everything is related towards health. That is how it is being. If it's related, if it's totally not related, then it's a different thing. But if it's related, it has to be health has to be integrated in that. Next is to ensure the right of citizen to live in a healthy environment through effective control of environment pollution for protection and promotion of health. So next, since air pollution and various types of environmental pollution is a big problem, next policy is to make sure that healthy environment is made. So that is also another thing that is government. Another one is to maintain good governance in the health sector through necessary policy, structure, and management for delivery of quality of health. So the system, how it works, that has to be changed. If it's needed, it will be updated and all that. That is also being done. Next is to promote public and private sector partnership for systemic and quality development in healthcare. So basically, what they have said is that government alone cannot do everything. So they want public and private partnership in it. So with that, things will be integrated and quality can be maintained. So this is another. And the last one is to increase the investment in health sector by state to ensure quality and accessible health services to provide financial security of the citizen for medical cost as well as effective utilization and manage financial resource obtained from private and non-government. Basically, this last this is the last one. This last one is all about we want to increase the investment so that everything related to health is effective. Okay, so these are the 14. Now, this is all about it. Now, I'll just stop this presentation. Let's come back over here. Okay, so this session basically what I'm trying to emphasize is that we've got something called national health policy. There are 14 policies. Those 14 policies are 14 points. It says we have to look in this vision, this way. Okay, we want good care, we want to produce doctors, we want quality this, we want blah blah blah, all those 14 points. But how do we do that? Those are made by strategies. Okay, so again, each and every of those 14 points have got around 8 or 10 or 14, 15, 20 of sub points called strategies. How good governments, how eliminate disease, how public health education, how uh, intersectoral cooperation. So everything how is addressed by the strategies. So I'll be sharing with you one document. In a while, I'll be giving. I'll be sending out one email to you all. So please go through it. It's a lengthy document, but that document is actually, if you try to read it and understand it, that document is the one that governs the health situation in Nepal. Okay, so that is it for my class. Any confusion? Anything that you do not understand?